Okay, guys, so what you're looking at here is an example of a works cited page that would be at the end of a research project or maybe on a slide in like a Google presentation. But it's important that you cite your sources, so you give credit to the books and websites and databases you've used. And also, in case your teacher wants to look up information, they can go to your Works Cited page and see what you used and maybe use some of those sources for other things. So it is important to do that. When you're looking at this sample of the Works Cited page, I just want to point out a couple things. Over on the left, you see some kind of like pink writing. Well, those are just tips. Those aren't actually part of the Works Cited page. Those are just tips when you make a Works Cited page that are included. And the first one is that your heading is centered. The next one is that when you create citations and put them on a slide or a document, that they're in alphabetical order. See, the first one is A, the author's last name is Ambrose. And then the next one, the author's last name is Kane. And then the next one, the author's last name is Cohen, and so forth and so on. If it doesn't have an author like the fourth one, Harvard Center for Risk Analysis, it's still in alphabetical order, it just doesn't have an author. And we'll talk more about that later. The most important thing that you need to know is that when you put your citations on the page, they need to be in alphabetical order. The next tip in red is that when you make a citation page, the first line of each entry is at the left margin. So every time you cut and paste a citation, the first line is always all the way over to the left, and then all the lines after that citation, in that citation, are tabbed over a little bit. So the first one is 2 lines. The second citation is 4 lines, and you can see that the first line is all the way over to the left, and then the second, third, and fourth line are tabbed over. I don't know why they do this, but I'm just showing you this is how MLA formats their citations, and they want everybody to do it the same. And then the last tip is that if you look at the whole page, everything is double spaced, not triple spaced and not single spaced, but double spaced throughout the whole document. So those are really good tips. If you look at it, you'll see that there's the author's name in the citation, the title, and the publishing information and the year, and then usually the very last thing or one of the last things in the citation is whether it was print or web. And print just means it was a book that you could hold in your hand, and web means that it was a website.